Hello, Gene Schwimmer here. Welcome to today's vlog, or I guess I should say welcome to tonight's vlog, because this is evening now. It's actually almost midnight where I am in Tennessee, around 11:30, election night, January 5th. I talk, of course, of the Georgia runoff elections. I actually had recorded an earlier vlog, or I had recorded a vlog earlier today about the runoff election. Then before I could get around to editing it, I decided to watch the results come in, and what I saw, what was happening in real time, made what I had recorded earlier irrelevant. So here I am recording a very quick and just off the cuff vlog. I guess they all seem off the cuff, but I do kind of plan them out a little bit. This one's really off the cuff. Just a late update on the results, because as I am telling this to you right now, 99% of the votes are in. So we know the results of one election, and then the other one we'll have to see. But here are the results, and I'm recording this because I want to keep a regular schedule, but also because I post the videos around 7:30 in the morning. I remember hearing one of the pundits on TV saying that the final results probably would be known around noon. So this could be a preview for you if you're getting up early. If not, then you may already know this stuff. But anyways, I wanted to share this with you. So the two contests are David Perdue, the Republican, against Jon Ossoff, the Democrat, and then Kelly Loeffler, the other Republican, against Raphael Warnock, the Democrat. All right, well, here's a chart from the Decision Desk HQ. They compile election results. They do what you see on TV when you watch a particular station on election night, and then they project winners. They have that's why it's called Decision Desk. It's a decision desk, like the ones that the TV stations have. So you can see a check next to Raphael Warnock's name. They project him the winner. He won that election. So as you probably know, this is an important election because the control of the Senate hinges on the results of these elections. If the if the Democrats win both, then because of the ability of incoming Vice President Kamala Harris to cast a deciding vote, the Democrats will control the Senate and the House. We already know they'll control the House, and if Biden is president, they will control the White House. And they're talking about all kinds of crazy stuff, crazier than the stuff they usually talk about. This time they're talking about, as you probably know, packing the Supreme Court by adding several new justices, adding 2 new states, which would be Puerto Rico and Washington, D.C., both of whom would be expected to elect Democratic senators, making it very much harder for Republicans ever to win control of the Senate again. So those are 2 right there, and the other one is the trifecta, getting rid of the filibuster. Now, there's one senator, Democratic senator, fairly moderate, Joe Manchin, who said that he would not vote for getting rid of the filibuster or he said any of the crazy stuff or any of the things that I mentioned. But who knows? Once the Democrats are in control, maybe he could be pressured to vote along with them. So you see how important this is. The Democrats have to win both of those seats. The Republicans just have to win 1. So they've already lost 1. They've lost the Loeffler-Warnock race. Now it's down to Perdue and Ossoff. Now, as you can see from that chart, that Perdue is still ahead, but his lead is very small, 1,869 votes. Now, the kind of good news, I guess, is that this is with 99% of the votes counted, but there are still some provisional ballots and some military ballots, I think. Well, that's where the mischief happened in November 3rd, these mass mailings of mail-in ballots. So who knows what's going to happen this time? This is a very thin margin. It's something to worry about if you're a conservative. And full disclosure, I'm a conservative, as I remind people from time to time. So you should keep that in mind whenever I say something. When I say good news, bad news, that's from the perspective of a conservative. So it's not quite bad news, but it could be. If Perdue loses, then, I mean, it's really astonishing and it's really frustrating. That was the other point I was going to mention, and then I'll wind this up because it's late at night. I got to edit this darn thing, but I want to keep a regular schedule with all of you. So it's just frustrating that what happened tonight is similar to what happened November 3rd. This time there were, I understand, Republican observers observing the counts, observing stationed at these drop-off boxes to make sure that things were on the level. So I'm hoping that is true. But if it is, it's still very frustrating, and I found this frustrated me in New York too. I've mentioned in the past I lived in New York for 40 years before I moved to Tennessee, January of 2019. But these large urban areas in these big states or even some smaller states, these large urban areas with strong Democratic majorities and very large populations who can outvote the entire rest of the state. So in New York State, you had the whole upstate New York and all these rural areas, but then you had Manhattan, just Manhattan, with such a large population, 8 million people, that they could outvote the rest of the state. So you have a pretty state that's conservative, most of the state, and a very liberal packed area that always gets its way. And that's what apparently happened in Georgia tonight, because both of these Republicans, Loeffler and Perdue, were comfortably ahead until about 11 o'clock in the evening. Loeffler was ahead by about 70,000 votes. Perdue was ahead by almost 120,000 votes. And all of the counties, just about all the counties, had reported their results except for one county, DeKalb County, which is the county where Atlanta, Georgia is, and it's very heavily populated and it's very heavily Democratic. That was where the Democratic candidates were. I don't remember Warnock's figures exactly, but Ossoff, when they had 42% of the vote counted, he was leading 85% to 15% against Perdue in that area. And there were so many outstanding votes in that area that if he kept that same percentage, which he apparently did, then he would wipe out, or I hope it turns out, just almost wipe out a 120,000 vote lead by Perdue, all in one fell swoop, one vote dump. And obviously it was more than enough to turn the race around against Loeffler. And so Warnock has won. But it's very frustrating that it happens, and it's very frustrating also that these Democratic counties, they take, well, you saw that all the way across the state. This was the most extreme example where the red counties, the Republican counties, were able to get their votes in early. These Democratic counties take all night, and that's where you get suspicious, because once all the Republican counties have reported, then there are no more votes to be gotten there. So they know those are how many votes are coming from the Republican counties. And then in the Democratic counties, if you're going to pull a fast one, you know how many votes you need to win. If you have almost all the red counties counted, or 99% in each of these counties, and I looked them up, and that's what it is. They had reported some 98%, some 99%, and then you went to DeKalb, and it was 37% or 42%, and then there was another one, Cobb County, I think, was 32% at one time, after the Republican counties were up to 99%. So if you're doing something, so you know, for instance, if Perdue is ahead by 120,000 votes, you know that you need maybe 125,000 votes and you'll win, because you know from all the red counties having reported that there are no more Republican votes to be gotten from those counties, and obviously not very many from the blue counties. So if you're pulling a fast one, that's how it can be done. That's how I believe it was done, firmly believe it was done November 3rd, but apparently there were observers there. But then you still have, for instance, in Manhattan, I was talking about New York, I don't think there was any funny stuff. I lived there for 40 years. It just happens to be heavily populated. that could be the same case here. So I just wanted to get that out there, and I'm going to now knock off for the night. I appreciate, as always, the time that you spend with me. If you could spend a little bit more time, give me a thumbs up if you like this video. That would be really great. Share it with anybody you think would also like it. Got any comments? Comment section below the video where you can put questions, suggestions for future topics. You could subscribe. I love getting new subscribers. You could also visit my music channel where I post my original music, and there's a link to that in the description. And I guess what else is left to say that I am glad that everybody stopped by. I would love to see all of you again. I look forward to seeing all of you again. And until I do see all of you again, bye.